der Natur. Ich kann halt lieben nur und sonst gar nicht.
Following the end of World War I in 1918, most of the world was in a state of political and economical instability. During this time, new cultural and intellectual movements, which sought to abandon old ideals and create new ones, were emerging and gaining popularity, such as the Bauhaus movement, which will be explored further in this presentation. Also at this time, major advances in technology and materials led to inventions such as the automobile, aeroplanes, machinery, and stainless steel. These developments, coupled with new processes in industrialization, rationalization, and standardization, initiated the modernist movement with revolutionary impacts on interior design. One major proponent of the Bauhaus movement and modernism was Marcel Breuer. Breuer was one of the most successful, innovative, visionary, and influential designers and architects of the 20th century to come out of the Bauhaus. In this presentation, we will be analyzing what social forces influenced Breuer's work and how, in turn, his work has influenced or changed the future of interior design and architecture. Breuer was born in Pécs, Hungary on May 21, 1902. Initially, he started out as a painter and then mastered furniture design until he forged a successful career as a visionary and influential architect. Breuer derived much inspiration from peasant architecture, though he never tried to imitate it. When Breuer was 18 in 1920, he moved to Germany to study at the Bauhaus School of Art and Design in Weimar, which was founded by Walter Gropius in 1919. Gropius's vision was to abandon traditional methods and ideas surrounding art and design, and to modernize design education. The Bauhaus School sought to unify the fine arts and crafts, industrial design, interior design, and architecture. Students were encouraged to learn, explore, and master handicrafts and embrace modern technology and materials to create innovative designs. Revolutionary design ideals emerged from the Bauhaus movement, such as form and function, with a simple and minimalist style, which radically changed design ever since. Breuer joined the carpentry workshop to better understand how things were constructed and how they stood up. He sought to understand the structure of furniture, which would prove invaluable for Breuer's later architectural career. The Weimar Bauhaus was a state school and was politically and financially dependent upon the regional government of the day. In 1924, the school's funding was halved when the newly elected nationalist government came to power. Gropius wanted to achieve financial independence, so he set up production departments in which standardized and functional products were designed and produced, such as Breuer's wood slat chair, producing income for the school. Gropius's aim was to mass-produce items for the average household. However, as each piece was handmade and quite expensive to produce, only rich German citizens could afford them. In the early years at the Bauhaus School, ideas from various art movements from around the world influenced and shaped the students, including Breuer's, own design thinking. Expressionism, under the guidance of Bauhaus's early teacher, Johannes Itten, concerned itself mainly with abstract ideas inspired by natural phenomena. On the contrary, constructivism and cubism were more about rationalism and exploring new industrial materials, color, and three-dimensional space. The Dutch De Stijl movement expanded on this and further explored spatial relationships. One of Breuer's first furniture pieces, the wood slat club armchair, was inspired by the De Stijl designer Gerrit Rietveld's red and blue chair of 1917. Departing from Rietveld's design, Breuer used strips of fabric for the backrest and seat instead of wood. He refined the design so that only one thickness of wood was used, rendering the design skeletal and airy and giving the furniture a modern aesthetic. Thus, the interior space that was previously blocked by heftier furniture designs was now rendered transparent and apprehensible. Breuer was commissioned to design armchairs and a side table for the entrance hall for the Sommerfeld House as a joint project with other artists of the Bauhaus. It was a house made for timber industrialist Adolf Sommerfeld, built in Berlin from recycled teak timber of an old ship. Breuer called upon the design influences from his native home with modernist influences to create contrasting pieces from cherry wood and leather. The feature which sets the design of these chairs apart is their form, with a more relaxed feel from the rigid cubes of his homeland. To accompany these chairs, he created a cherry wood tea table with a solid tabletop with 4 distinctive rectangular legs placed symmetrically around the outside of the table that partially protrude above the top. This design would later become the inspiration for the design of a table that would be mass-produced due to its practical simplicity. In around 1924, Breuer sought to remove himself from the philosophical confines of the ideologist at the Bauhaus. His design philosophy was to make functional, stylish, simple and well-designed pieces of furniture. This change in view allowed Breuer to become creatively free from established ideals and thus free to explore his own original and innovative design ideas. In 1925, Breuer became a teacher and master in the carpentry classes at the Bauhaus. Under his guidance, furniture design was permanently revolutionized. He departed from solely using timber for making furniture, which was the traditional material of choice at the time. He started experimenting with tubular steel, fabric, and glass. These materials were not typically used in the interior prior to then. Breuer was inspired by the material used for the handlebars on his bicycle, and he designed the first steel tube chair in history, known as the B3 chair. This revolutionary, innovative design was minimal in structure and added a sense of openness and minimalism to the interior, which was an aesthetic strived for in the Bauhaus. To guarantee comfort in his chair designs, Breuer took into consideration ergonomic principles, such as the weight of the structure, the shape of the backrest, and the upholstered pads or stretch canvas curved to carefully fit human posture. Breuer combined the flexible qualities of the steel tube material and its portability with its facility for industrial mass production on a large scale. This caught the attention of other designers that could see potential in this forward-thinking design, though none achieved the same level of success. The B3 chair was Breuer's most famous design and one easily identifiable with the Bauhaus aesthetic. This important design still dramatically influences the modern design of furniture today. Many reproductions of this design were subsequently created over the last century, and since the 1960s the chair has been widely known as the Vasili chair. Breuer then went on to design other pieces of furniture fashioned out of bent steel tubes. He refined his designs and created theatre chairs which required them to be welded together to create rows of seating and versatile armrests. Stools for the canteen, made from 2 steel tubes, making the seat incredibly light and handy, taking up virtually no space and with the ability to be stacked. Breuer took his design further with a tubular steel drafting table consisting of a solid timber top with triangular steel tube legs. Looking at this piece, it is easy to see the early makings of the modern trestle table, along with the folding design of the B8 tubular chair, simplistic in form and able to be mass-produced at a time when supply of reasonably priced furniture was required to help rebuild Germany and most of Europe after the war. His innovative modernist designs permanently changed the course of furniture design. In 1927, Breuer invented the revolutionary cantilever chair, abandoning the traditional construction of 4 legs on a chair. His designs inspired subsequent furniture designs by other great artists from the Bauhaus, such as Mies van der Rohe with his cantilevered chair and Le Corbusier's basculant chair. Breuer left the Bauhaus in 1928 to start his own design firm and to get more exposure in architectural projects. This was at the height of the Great Depression, which was characterized by hyperinflation, high unemployment rates, scarcity of materials and growing dissent by the masses in relation to the unstable political environment, which proved difficult for Breuer to secure architectural projects. Breuer continued to work on furniture design in interior design projects until 1932. He developed standardized cabinetry design with cubes that could be combined in different configurations, focusing his design on functionality and aesthetic style. Breuer's original idea is still an important feature in today's furniture design, as he created early versions of what we refer to today as wall units. With the ascension of the Nazi Party to power in Germany in 1933, the Bauhaus School was permanently shut down due to financial difficulties and opposing political views, and many of the Bauhaus teachers and students moved to other parts of Europe, Israel, and the United States, thus proliferating the Bauhaus movement all over the world. Breuer went into exile because of his Jewish heritage. He moved to London in 1934 and then to the United States in 1937. There, together with Gropius, he taught at the School of Architecture at Harvard University, in addition to continuing his private architectural career, which spanned 4 decades. Breuer taught modernist design principles and Bauhaus ideas to the next generation of designers in the United States. Breuer's revolutionary designs forever changed the course of interior design and architecture right up to the present day.